A 19-year-old student went on a bicycle trip, promising her mother to return in a few hours. No one thought this day would forever change the world of forensics by giving us one of the most mysterious disappearances in history. For 30 years, thousands of people have asked one question: what happened to Tara Calico? Tara Calico was born on February 28, 1969, in the small town of Wylan in the southwest of the United States, a place with a population of less than 7,000 people that was a model of quiet and measured life until a terrible tragedy occurred. At the time of her disappearance, Tara was a second-year student at the University of New Mexico, received good grades, and planned to work as a psychiatrist after her studies. She was described as a responsible, energetic girl who was running and cycling and who liked to schedule and plan her day. On 20th September 1988 at 9:30 a.m., Tara told her mother that she planned to ride 36 miles by bicycle on her normal route around the city, promising to return by noon. Her bike had a flat tire, so the girl decided to take her mother's bike. She only took Sony Walkman with the Boston tape. At 12:05, Tara still hadn't come home, which was weird because she was always following her schedule. An agitated mother went on a search along the route her daughter was supposed to take, but couldn't find her. Suspiciously, the woman went to the police. They immediately started searching for and interviewing witnesses. The last of them saw Tara at 11:45 on the road, about 2 miles from her house. It was followed by a filthy white Ford pickup truck in 1953 with a white homemade body top. It remains to be seen whether this truck is linked to her disappearance, since no one saw the moment of the abduction or the accident. According to witnesses, Tara wasn't paying any attention to the truck. Maybe she just didn't hear him because she was wearing headphones. The next day, on the side of the road near Tara's house, they found a tape she had taken with her on that unfortunate evening. It looked like she accidentally dropped it, moving from her house. Next to this place, detectives noticed traces of bicycle tires. After a while, they found the wreckage of the Walkman player, 19 miles east of the road that Tara was last seen on. The girl, Apos, as mother suggested that the daughter was trying to point to the direction in which the kidnapper took her. The bike that Tara left on was never found. Despite a massive search, the detectives couldn't find any evidence. The police then decided to publish Tara's missing information in the newspapers. It caused a real storm. A lot of people called and said they saw that girl. Unfortunately, all these statements were either outright fiction or a mistake. All but one. On June 15th, 1989, 8 months after disappearing on a beach in Port St. Joe in Florida, a young girl like Tara Calico was spotted in the company of several adult men. From the side of the scene, it looked as if the girl had obeyed their orders. The police could not determine whether the incident had been staged or whether it had indeed been held against their will. On the same day, something happened that made Tara's disappearance one of the most mysterious cases in the history of forensics. In a parking lot near a store in the same city, passers-by found a creepy picture taken on a Polaroid. A girl like Tara Kaliko and a boy about 12 years old were on it. Their mouths were taped, and the book, My Sweet Audio, Tara's favorite book, was next to the girl. This discovery gave rise to more questions than answers. The examination showed that the photograph was taken on a film not available until May 1989. According to witnesses and security footage, a white Toyota van with no windows was on the scene that day, with a mustache male middle-aged driving driver. Once again, the police were unable to locate either the car or its owner. The photograph was immediately shown to Tara's mother, and she recognized her daughter. She also noted that she had a scar on her leg visible in the photo, but the detectives were slow to conclude. Tara was supposed to be 20 years old at the time, and the girl in the photo was 16 years old. It was decided to send the photo to independent forensics. Scotland Yard confirmed Tara Caliko's photo. However, experts from the Los Solomon National Laboratory gave the opposite answer. The FBI experts did not make any clear conclusions at all. As for the boy in the photograph, he was first identified as a 9-year-old Michael Henley, missing on 21st April 1988. He disappeared in the mountains of Vizoon, about 75 miles from the site of Tara Caliko's abduction. This version also raised age-related doubts. The boy in their picture looked a little older. This mystery was resolved in 1990, when Henley's remains were found near the site of his disappearance. The investigation found that he was lost and died of natural causes. That's not the end of the story. In a detailed examination of the photograph, the experts noticed a telephone number on the cover of the book, some of the numbers of which the experts were able to read. It could be one of 300 numbers, of which only 57 actually existed. The detectives went through all these numbers, but there's also a dead end in the investigation. No connection to the missing girl could be found. Shortly after that, the detectives were expecting another surprise. A similar photograph was found not far from one of the construction sites in Montecito, California. It was covered with a girl's head glued to her mouth against a pillow of the same color as the picture in Port St. Joe. Patty Doyle again identified her daughter, despite the poor quality of the picture. The experts found that the photo was taken on a film not available until June 1989. A little later, the detectives got another photo in their hands. It was marked by a tied woman in large dark glasses sitting in front of a man in a train car. This time, the mother couldn't figure out if it was her daughter. She later suggested that the photograph might be someone's evil prank. The experts still examined the photograph and found that it had been filmed not earlier than February 1990. Despite all the investigators' efforts, this photo was the last piece of evidence in Tara Caliko's disappearance, but her search for it continued. In 2003, the case received a new chance. Tara's ex-boyfriend, who was then a police officer, was charged with the murder of his wife. Because of that, the detectives re-examined the kidnapping case, but they couldn't find any links or new evidence. In August 2009, the Port St. Joe police received 2 anonymous letters with a photograph of the boy in which his mouth was painted with black paint in the style of the first parking photo of 1989. The detectives traced the letter from Albuquerque, but they found no DNA trace or any other relevant information to investigate. All this time, the police didn't rule out the possibility that Tara wasn't the one in the first photo. In that case, they were faced with an even worse scenario. The 2 children whose names had not yet been identified were in the hands of criminals and needed assistance. The photograph clearly shows that there is genuine fear in the eyes of the children. 20 years after Tara's disappearance, the sheriff of Valencia County gave his version of what happened. In his opinion, the missing girl was a common accident. The police officer believed that Tara was being chased by 2 teenagers in a pickup truck and at some point accidentally hit her. After that, she and her friends hid her body. The sheriff was sure of his story. He even claimed to be able to name the criminals, but only after Tara's body was found. At the time of the statement, Tara's mother had already died, but her stepfather was outraged by the sheriff's position. He demanded hard evidence, or stop spreading gossip. It has been 32 years since Tara Kaliko disappeared, and this mystery remains unsolved. The case is still open, but the police are no longer considering the connection of the photos to her disappearance. Maybe they decided to stick to the theory that it wasn't her in the picture. How then can Tara's favorite book be explained? It's like it's in the frame because the girl's hands are tied behind her back and she couldn't read the book. And how do you explain the same scar on Tara's leg? If she's still alive, she must be 52 years old. The solution to this mystery is now not only with the police, but also with ordinary people of concern. All of them share one goal: justice for Tara Kaliko.